I'm sure many of you have discovered a recurring theme during many past COMPTEL shows: innovation. This is the key ingredient in the success of COMPTEL and competitive communications. It's what makes us who we are. From DSL to fiber to niche marketing, we innovate. Terry Jones is an innovator, taking his career experience at American Airlines and Sabre and using that knowledge to innovate, and found Travelocity.com in 1996. Terry is now the managing principal at Essential Ideas and the author of On Innovation. He is a past board member of one of our innovators, Earthlink, and currently serves as chairman of Kayak in addition to his activities as a venture capitalist and member of multiple nonprofits. Please join me in welcoming Terry Jones.
You know, Jerry talked about innovation and change in this industry, and he also talked about reaching out to customers, and that's really what my topics are going to be this morning. The first is about building digital relationships with customers. Not that face-to-face is going away or the phone is going away, but we have to learn how to build digital relationships with our customers. And to get there, we have to build more innovative companies. We have to learn how to turn on innovation in our teams, in our culture, and in our organizations. Because life used to be so simple. You know, marketing drove the people to the door, sales closed the deal, and IT added it up. It was a simple world. But today, marketing is a two-way street, and customers are involved and engaged in blogs and wikis and talking back. And competition has gone from war, the traditional Coke versus Pepsi, to kind of a bar fight. You know, who is my competitor again? I mean, it's hard to tell. You had a list of all kinds of interesting companies and changes in the regulatory environment. And distribution used to be simple. You know, it was just the store. And now it's multi-channel and incredibly complex. So we're living through a period of intense change, and if a thing seems to be moving faster, it really is. And one of the reasons is the customer has a new tool in their toolbox, and that tool is the mouse, and I guess the other tool is the smartphone. And it's changing the way they discover products, learn about products, shop for products, buy products, get service on products, and rave or complain about products. Today's customers are wired and dangerous. They're comfortable and confident online. And they expect from each of us what they get at the very best site on the internet. They expect us to communicate their way, which is 24/7, any way they want. And customers don't care about channels. We care about channels. We're organized around channels. You know, we have the Department of Phone Support, and we have the store sales, and we have internet. Customers don't care about channels. Customers only care about solutions. So we have to care about how do we provide them solutions, because customers are getting smarter. They're getting harder to catch. And they're making everything change. They're short-circuiting traditional distribution. So I started my career as a travel agent in Chicago. And back then, customers would call us, and we'd call the airline. 90% of tickets were sold that way in the 80s. And then we invented Travelocity, and airlines got websites, customers got computers, and we saw the beginning of a short circuit as people started going direct or through intermediaries like Travelocity, and in a short period of time, 18,000 travel agents went out of business. Much the same happened in the record business. I used to go to the record store and pick out the LP from my favorite band. I didn't talk to the label, the store talked to the label. And then Steve invented the iPod, and everybody got one, and pretty soon, everybody was going to the new intermediary, and record sales, CD sales, down 25% just last year. Your video store, your electronics store, your bookstore, bankrupt, out of business. Now, not all businesses are being short-circuited. Some are being what I call rewired. We are seeing a tremendous amount of change in the way we distribute our products, the way we talk to our customers. And as General Shinseki said recently, if you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance even less. Digital relationships are like personal relationships. They occur in stages. We attract customers, we make them curious, they come and explore, they want to learn more, we build trust. Wow, then they buy. Now I have a customer, I can drive them to return, I can deepen that relationship, I can rekindle it if it flags. And where does social fit? It fits everywhere, in every part of that business relationship, as does mobile today. So let's start with attraction. Now, when I started Travelocity.com, I used print, radio, and TV. When we started Kayak.com, we used search. In fact, we didn't do any advertising until 2 years ago. It's all about search today. And it makes sense because researching products is the second most popular online activity. 80% of these high-end car buyers search first before buying. I'm sure you did too. And there's a lot of science about search, but what's important to remember is 60% of internet users use search every day, and half of their searches are for products or services. They're looking for what you have. So to get it to them, you have to think like a customer in order to solve their problem. It's like this. When I go to Home Depot to get a drill, do I want a drill? No, I want a hole. I need a drill, but I want a hole. Okay? So what does your customer really want? S.C. Johnson figured out they bought mosquitoes.com because when I'm searching for mosquitoes on the web, it's because I wish to kill them, right? And they also bought keywords like West Nile virus and Lyme disease because if you're worried about Lyme disease, you find out it comes from ticks. You can prevent the tick from biting you by using off. It's not that I want off. It's that I don't want Lyme disease. What problem is your customer trying to solve? We have to realize that technique follows technology. Technique follows technology. We don't always know where technology will take us. Alexander Graham Bell thought the telephone would be a tool for the deaf. Edison thought the phonograph would be a dictation machine. We don't know where technology is going. We just have to watch closely. Because today we live in this wired world where information has found its freedom and buyers have more power than they've ever had before. A world of speed, simplicity, and convenience. A world where people are searching for your product, or at least what it does. So you have to think like mosquitoes.com. A world where you're being rewired into a multi-channel world, whether you like it or not. And you have to open all the doors and make them all work the same way, because customers don't care about channels. You have to communicate the way they want to communicate. Make your product part of their process, like the printer that sold me ink. Give them what they can't get in the physical world. Simplify their lives. Tell them what other people think, because that's who they trust. Listen to the data, like we did at Travelocity by having people be on the phone with customer service. Use search to connect to their brain. What are they searching for that you don't have, right? The web's about direct marketing still. Look what Zappos does, right? By keeping track of what shoes I buy. Relationships matter. And digital relationships are like personal relationships. They come in stages. So think about them that way, and you'll be much more successful. And the way to get from here to there, being more successful, is to get the right culture and get the right team in order to be more innovative. Create a culture where an idea can exist. Break through the boson layer. Let the middle managers know they don't have to be afraid that you will actually let people fail, right? Because we experiment and we kill projects, not people. Makes a huge difference. Get some new people in the business, people who aren't like you, people who will challenge you. Keep teams small, 2 pizza teams. Listen in a new way to your customer. And remember, one person can make a huge difference. As you move through your company, you'll leave a big wake. It's larger than you imagine. Your employees watch what you do, and they think they understand what you want. You have to make it crystal clear. You have to support change and talk about it in a positive way and be okay with failure and put your ideas to work. Now with that, I wish I could say the radar screen of business is clear. But the radar screen of business always looks like this. We're always navigating the storms, and people say, you know, I'm scared about this new world, but Ronald Reagan said when we're standing on the edge of the known world, We're standing on the shores of the infinite. That's where we are right now. I mean, I think this mobile revolution, wow, it's changing everything, as you well know. We have over 20 million downloads of the kayak.com mobile product. It's just incredible how fast that changes our business. And people say, well, you know, this new world is marginalizing my business. My prices are transparent. My customer's an eighth of a second away. My competitor's another eighth of a second away. The way to avoid being marginalized is to draw your own margins. It's to take the information you get from this conference and go home and change something. Because, folks, change is inevitable. But growth is optional. It's totally up to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.